Get in here and say hello like y'all normally do. Hey, hello everybody. Hello. I think them lights. Let's see. Is that better? It is. And maybe it don't be so concentrated. Hey everybody. Hello. Hello. Hey y'all. Hey Rika. Hey everybody. Hey. Hey everyone. Ooh. You know what? For right now, it's gonna go right there. That's what I'm gonna do. Hey. Hello. Hey. Hola, hola. What y'all do today? KJ, thank you. KJ, you already know what it is. If they don't let y'all, if they make y'all unfollow me and you have to keep following me back, I done told y'all what it is. And that's on all platforms. It is, that's what's happening. They don't let me answer. I had the first time, thank you. I had the first time that my TikTok shut down. Like it crashed. I knew something was up too, cause I'm like, this weird. Like none of this. Thank you. None of my videos would load or nothing. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to look at other people's stuff, and so I screenshotted it because I have not ever experienced this. I said that's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Y'all see that? I know it's, but you see that? It says restore your experience. TikTok crashed many times due to app misconfigurations. Your personal data won't be affected when you restore your experience. I've been using this here app for 3 years. It has not ever happened. Do you hear me? Hey, Auntie. They did. They did. Thank you. Auntie, you might not have been in class. I said, uh-oh, I done got my stuff. Thank you. Did. I finally went and got it and put the grape juice up on the top in my room because there's no space on the shelf. And then, yeah, you wasn't. Well, I just want to tell you thank you. I did. I finally went and picked everything up and sent some other packages off. I'm hoping that none of that stuff got returned that you all sent for me to send out the, what you call them things? Yeah. You wasn't in here when I got it? That you talking about the seeds and all of the did. If this what you talking about, yeah. And the seeds and everything. Did. Did. Thank you. If that's what you're talking about. I haven't went and got no new stuff since the other day. So thank you. Hey y'all. Hello, hello, hello. I know y'all need a couple minutes to say hello. Y'all can go and get that out. Hey cousins, I love you and all of that stuff. You got some seeds too. Pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, y'all. Thank you. Hey. Hey, everybody. This why I normally go make my coffee right now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, y'all. Y'all, it's only because I slicked my hair back a little bit and put these eyebrows on, I promise. I put something on this hair right here so you can see my whole face. I'm not, that's it, that's all. And then put my lashes on and started to cry. I said, Dad, why this happen? Because every time you got a praise report, I'm listening. Thank you. What you got, Miss Henry? What you got? Hold on, we got a praise report. Give me a second. What's up? I'm listening. I like praise reports. They make me feel my toes wiggle. Thank you. I appreciate that, y'all. I really do. What you got, girl? I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something. What you got? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Thank you. I went back to work on Saturday and everybody was very kind. Also, I got a check for $770 in the Milton Relief in the mail today. 7 is completion. I said, go ahead with it. I said, go ahead with it. I told you. I thank you. I told you. You was worried. I said, God could be in change. Maybe he let them miss you and stuff. You know, they miss what you do around there. Sometimes God got to remove you out the situation so people can see how. You say, I bust down crying. Listen, girl, I keep trying to tell you, God got you. Didn't I talk about checks showing up in the mail? It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. My daddy do whatever he want to do whenever he feel like it. And sometimes so a few things. You are going to go through seasons and it is not always going to feel the same. Hey, thank you for checking on me, Pumpkin. I didn't get a chance to get back to you, but I did see a little bit of the email. I didn't read the whole thing because it just came across my thing. But I want to tell you thank you for checking on me. Please forgive me for not getting back to you. Yesterday, I had a very long conversation, and then I just, lay down, and I got up this morning and was doing, well, not this morning, this afternoon, and was doing my stuff. So I want to thank you for checking on me. But that kind of ties into what I'm about to say. Listen, y'all. You are going to go through seasons, and it is not always going to feel the same. Okay? I want y'all to know that. Y'all hear me? And I think I've stressed this a lot to y'all that it's not always going to be, it don't feel the same way you do outside in the summer and the winter. And in the spring and the fall, it don't feel the same. Those are two different climates. Those are two different moistures in the air and all of these different things. You even have to wear different clothing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You even have to wear different clothing in those seasons. You can't go outside in 17-degree weather in the same stuff that you wear in the summer. My prayer on Thursday, I was so nervous about going back to work. God, I'm humbly asking for a miracle and boldly declaring victory in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm trying to tell you, it's a real thing. Okay? Okay? So even in reference to me, y'all, if I come on here and I'm not okay, guess what? I just might be in a different season. Do y'all hear me? Y'all get that? Just because I'm on this side of the thing don't mean that I'm not going to go through the same seasons y'all go through. Okay? I want y'all to remember that. So I'm not always going to be the same every day. Okay? The Bible tells you don't judge a book by their cover. So, okay? Y'all don't act the same every day either. Some days you're nicer than others. Some days you're more quiet. Some days you're giving. Some days you're stingy. Some days you want to be touched. Some days you don't. You see what I'm saying? So understand that too, that if you do see me looking solemn, don't say that you see, oh, CERCA, I see you look sad. Would you want somebody to say it to you? No. So instead, I just be wanting y'all to pray. Okay? Do you hear me? If you see, just pray. Okay? Can y'all do that? Because would you want someone to point out that you were sad? Would you? Or would you want someone to point out that you are not at your best today or whatever else it is? So I be wanting y'all to be mindful about that. I get, and I'm going to say this because Alexis, I can't think of her, Nicole, the lady, I saw a video and I had talked to somebody yesterday kind of about it. And she talked about, this was a couple months ago or something, or like August. She talked about how, because you are a person in the vision of other people how certain things happen. And I think it was powerful because I had a conversation with somebody and was kind of saying the same stuff. So just be mindful that the people on the other side of this screen are people. They have the same things, they have the same everything that you go through, they go through it too. I don't care what uh influencer it is. And the only difference between them and you is they got 1,000, 10,000, 2,000 people, whatever, telling them how they feel about them, and they don't even really know them at all. No matter how many days you watch them, there's still parts of their life that you're not going to know. They're not your business, and whatever else. Y'all hear me? So that be the difference. That be the difference. You got 1 million people telling you how they feel about your life, all the while they're not living it. They're looking at your appearance and saying, oh, they must be, but you don't know. Okay? Y'all got me? So, we going to be bouncing around today a little bit. Because I asked God some questions before I went to bed, and this morning when I got up, or afternoon, I asked God a few questions just in my mind. I be thinking about stuff, and something that I haven't read in a while. I can't tell you the last time I read it. He brought it to my mind, so we gonna move around in there. We're just gonna be moving around a little bit today. Okay? Y'all with it? So you're gonna need just a device, really. We're not gonna be in the books. You're gonna need to be able to get to Sacred Text today and to Bible Gateway. Okay? Y'all got me? Okay, so you're gonna need just to be able to act. Ooh, this part. You know what? One thing about locks, they make you tender-headed for real. You hear me? Because I used to be able to take some stuff, but baby, I'm tender-headed as heck right now. So, there's that. What do I need? Trying to make sure I got everything. I got my coffee. I already know I need some more, but I might make some tea. I'm going to give y'all a couple more minutes because I know it ain't telling people we own and all the other stuff. So I'll try to wait maybe another 5 minutes. I do want to ask y'all. What happened? Right. Yeah. So, yes. Daughter of the Most High. Yes, you do. What was I gonna say? The floods. Y'all seen them? They everywhere. They not just over here. They are everywhere. Y'all seen it? Canada's flooding, and Roswell. Excuse me. And all of these places. I can't even show it to y'all, but y'all know we got floaties. Now, in Nepal too, y'all want to know something? The day before Alaska, friends, okay, the day before Roswell flooded, I called y'all nephew. It's making a hair on my body stand up. The day before the Roswell flood, and I didn't even know what weather they were supposed to be getting. I called y'all nephew and I said, I know it sounds crazy because you live in the desert. Hey, Michael. I said, I know it's crazy because you live in the desert, but you need to tell grandma and your uncles that are there that they need to get floaty devices. And he kind of looked at me like, Mom, we in the middle of the desert. I said, son, I already know, but it doesn't matter. And I know the dirt is not absorbent there, so it's that water gonna sit. right? It's going to sit right on top of the dirt because that it's not absorbent. So you need to get a floaty device, right? And he kind of rolled his eyes and was like, okay, Mom. And then the next day, I called him and I said, did you see what happened in New Mexico? Which is one state over from him. He said, no. I said, yeah, it's flooded there in the desert. The state over from you, and you in a valley. You live in the valley, right? So we get an inch of water and it's crazy out there. You know what I mean? And I thought that was crazy because I told him, I know you don't think that it's going to flood in the desert, but get something. You hear me? And then the next day, I said, well, and I called him. I said, well, remember that conversation we had? He said, that's crazy. It is. So get your stuff. Get your stuff, son. Get it. I did tell him. And so hopefully he went on and got it. Yep. Next state over. I said, that's crazy. Y'all know my baby on the West Coast. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's do it. Y'all ready? I have no idea. You just gotta, whatever the Lord say to you, I just say get something that float. I have no idea which. You just need to get something that just in case your area, even though it doesn't normally flood, if it floods, you have something that can carry y'all or whatever else. Hey, everybody. Okay. So, let me see. Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right. So, I need you to go to Bible Gateway and go to Matthew 26. Good evening, Auntie. Good evening. Hey, Miss Bev's Body. Hey, everybody. We going to Matthew 26, easy read version, please. First, that's where we going. Let me know when you over there. Y'all ready? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Matthew 26. We're not reading all of this. We're going to skip around in here. So, okay. It says, after Jesus finished saying all these things, he said to his followers, you know that the day after tomorrow is Passover. On that day, the Son of Man will be handed over to his enemies to be killed on the cross. That's crazy. Interesting. I ain't had a phone call all day that I can remember. And as soon as I get on here and start teaching. Crazy. All right, here we go. Then the leading priests and the older Jewish leaders had a meeting at the palace where the high priest lived. The high priest's name was Caiaphas, and in the meeting, they tried to find a way to arrest and kill Jesus without anyone knowing what they were doing. Let me ask you a question. Was Jesus not a priest? Hey, Isabel. Hey, everybody. We in Matthew 26, easy read version. Jesus was a priest. And the meetings that they had were secret. Right? This was a secret meeting. Right? Ain't that what it said right there? The Jewish priests and the elders got together and had a secret meeting with Caiaphas. But Jesus was teaching the word exactly like they were, right? Wasn't they all teaching the word? Jesus was a priest, and these are the priests and the elders in the religious community. Secret meetings are never any good for anyone. This part, Auntie. Okay. Why did they want to keep it a secret? What is the plot? And not a plot of land. What is the plot? Not what was the plot, what is a plot? A plot means to deceive. A plan or a scheme, a hidden agenda or strategy. So the reason that they didn't call Jesus to the meeting is because they planned on deceiving Caiaphas, right? A plan made in secret by a group of people to do something illegal or harmful. A setup to perform something negative. Interesting. Interesting. So let me ask you a question. If we go to not social media, if we go to Hollywood, right? Anybody know who Dave Chappelle is? Or any of the Disney stars that they said had lost their mind, or it was something wrong with them. Now, wasn't anything wrong with them when they was working and making money and keeping their mouth closed. But as soon as they started to open their mouth, or outwardly what it is that they have been doing behind closed doors started to show in their appearance, the people that have been using them for whatever reason threw them to the side and said they was crazy. The guy from That's So Raven, right? They not in their right mind. The things that they're saying are not true. All of these different things. So if they could not, one, use them anymore, or two, abuse them anymore, right? Then what did they do? They painted them to be crazy to the people around them, so that if they did say something, they would think that they were not in their right minds, right? Have we seen this happen? Hey, is that what they did? Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it says, uh, in the meeting, they tried to find a way to arrest and unalive Jesus without anyone knowing what they were doing. They planned to arrest Jesus and unalive him. They said, we cannot arrest Jesus during Passover. We don't want the people to become angry and cause a riot. Interesting. So you still want to keep your festivals. You still want to keep your holidays, even though in your heart you planning some evil stuff. Do that sound crazy to you? You want to keep up appearances, but really your spirit ain't right. They said, no, we're not going to do it during their convention, because that'll cause the people to be in an uproar. We going to wait till a better time. We going to wait. We going to keep the holy day, but we still going to be deceptive in our thoughts, because they thought what they was about to do openly was okay. They was about to follow the law openly, but when they went back in behind here, no. So openly you are going to be a part, but secretly in your mind is something else going on. Right? Yeah. Okay. We could apply this to a number of things in our lifetime right now. People feel like they've been deceived by the media. People feel like they've been deceived by the government. People feel like they've been deceived by their spouses. People feel like they've been deceived by family members. People feel like because you put on a certain thing, but really in your heart, that ain't what it's about. Right? You act like you like one thing when really that you just doing it because everybody else is doing it. Not because that's how you really feel about it. Right? Almost like peer pressure. No? Certain holiday get-togethers. Ooh, sir. Am I gonna need this? Am I gonna need these before we even get started? Let me know now. Am I gonna need these? Tell me now, cause it's about to be the holidays. You said yes, ma'am. Okay, cause I'm thinking. Well, I'm gonna move them over a little bit. I'm gonna just move these. You know what? Give me a second. Oh, I'm gonna move because I feel some craziness coming on. So I'm gonna just put these where everybody can see them. I might just have to start letting y'all check these out when you come in. If you already know you got to be on some funny stuff, some petty stuff. Funny not in like, oh, you trying to be funny, but funny like, okay, let me just let y'all know they here already. The spirit of petty has entered the room. Listen, and it's about to be the holidays, and she said, holiday, certain holidays. It's about to be the holidays in about 3 weeks. I don't know. Lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Listen. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, now, we already know that the priests are against Jesus. You said Thanksgiving comebacks. Listen here. I'm trying to tell you. Here we go. I ain't no telling what. Lord help these people. So we going down to verse 14. Oh, excuse me. Y'all hear me? Verse 14. It says, then one of the 12 followers went to talk to the leading priest. This was the follower named Judas Iscariot. He said, I will hand Jesus over to you. What will you pay me for doing this? The priest gave him 30 silver coins. And after that, Judas waited for the best time to hand Jesus over to them. Did they call Judas? Or did Judas go on his own free will? You hear me? He went on his own free will. Did Caiaphas call? Did Caiaphas call for the religious leaders to come to him, or did they go? Matthew 26 and 14. So, prior to Jesus being crucified, the religious leaders, he was teaching the same thing they was teaching. They went to Caiaphas on their own. And then one of his friends went to Caiaphas as well, or to the leaders, and said, I'll give him over to you for this payment. Yes or no? The ninja crip walked over there. Petty. You know what? It's right there. Just check it out. Did. Because the question is, did he see the religious leaders going? Was he in the streets when the religious leaders were walking to see Caiaphas? Did he overhear a conversation? Even though we know that it was set for him to be the one and for them to be those. You hear me? I get it, but hear me. Listen, I'm going somewhere. I got you. Just give me a second, okay? Hear me. Did he hear a conversation? Because even if Jesus told him at the Last Supper to go and do the act of betrayal, who was he supposed to go talk to? Do you see what I'm saying? What act of betrayal? He had to go and no, I get it. Listen, y'all. Hear me, hear what I'm saying. Please hear me. Listen, I know, listen. Y'all talking about a moment in time, right? At that very moment. But I'm saying, did he overhear? Was he in a place? It ain't, it's more to just them being at that point. There are things in between, right? We know that he was chosen. We know this. We know that Jesus knew who was going to betray him. We know that. Exactly. 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 But there were things that had to happen, just like Judas hitting Jesus or biting Jesus when he was a kid. Okay? Judas didn't just show up when he was an adult. Judas had been doing stuff to Jesus when he was a little kid. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It didn't just start right there. Judas been around. Do you hear what I'm saying? You got me? Now, had Judas been walking, not only did he know him from when he was little, he had been walking with him, right? Judas got to see stuff that other people didn't get to see. Judas was privy to conversations that other people, maybe even the Jewish priest, they weren't privy to the conversations that Judas was privy to. But yet and still, it was a person that was walking with him, and then it was other people, and they both ended up at the same place. Now we know that this was foretold. We know this. We know it was foretold. We already know everybody being picked. I get it. We know that part. But what I'm saying is, these two opposing sides, so it was the people that didn't like Jesus because he was putting them on blast, and somebody that he had known his entire life. Do you hear me? He wasn't just facing problems on one side. He was facing outside problems, and he was facing inside problems. And all he was doing what God told him to do. Yes or no? Yes? Has there ever been a time in your life where you felt like you was fighting an outside enemy and an inside enemy? Have you ever had stuff going on the outside that you can't control, but also had things going on in the inside? No? Okay. So you fighting against yourself, and the enemy is fighting against you as well. You said, as of freaking right now. Okay. Okay, so this was, because I asked him, I said, I don't know what all this is. He said, it'll just do it. I said, okay. So then there's some people going through this right now. Okay, right now, as a matter of fact. Got it. Got it. Good. Okay. All right. Because it's a thing. Here we go. Let's keep going. So you got an inside enemy and an outside enemy. And they all trying to get you to the same place, which is out of the hands of God. No? Maybe Judas was the little boy Jesus said, thou shalt breathe no more. No. Judas hit him, the devil got in him, Judas hit him or bit him, and then the devil hopped out. This is the same Judas. Okay, here we go. Hold on 1 second. All right. Can y'all go down to verse 36 for me, please? Verse 36. 26, verse 36. Y'all there? Hey, AJ. Matthew 26, verse 36. Okay. It says, then Jesus went with his followers to a place called Gethsemane. He said to them, sit here while I go there and pray. He told Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee to come with him. Then he began to be very sad and troubled. So that means that however he felt at the Passover and was happy and joyful, the mood had now changed. Right? Whatever he was feeling right above here when they was at the Lord's Supper, the mood is now changed from turn up and party and we eating good and we laughing and we having our conversation to, oh snap, things is about to get real. Why he didn't break down crying at the Lord's Supper? Why he didn't fall to his knees at the Last Supper? Because he could have did everything we about to read about him doing here. He could have went in the corner and prayed. He could have went outside, right outside. He could have went outside and prayed. I'm sure he was feeling the heaviness. No? Y'all don't think he was feeling the heaviness when he was sitting there with the people and eat it, but did okay. Excuse me. So even when he left the Lord's Supper, he left with the 12, but then he left 9 of them over here, and he only took 3 with him. Right? The disciples was with him. He left 9 and he took 3. Yes. So everybody got to eat with Jesus. Everybody got to walk away with Jesus. Sounds like the people's now seeing all the disasters and still not changing their life or preparing. Interesting. Here we go. Come on in. Okay, so they left with 13. 9 had to sit over here. And 3 got to go right where he was going. Right? So everybody got a chance to eat. The 12 left. 9 had to sit over here when they left. And he said, you 2 and you, come here with me. I need y'all to do something for me. Right? Do you think that they knew what was on Jesus' mind? Because he knew what was coming for him. They had an idea. Do you think that they could feel how heavy Jesus' heart was? Even though they was walking right with him. Matter of fact, Were they even carrying the same things in their hearts? They ran away from the people with Jesus, didn't they? They was put in some of the same crazy situations that Jesus was put in, right? But did they really even understand the weight that he felt? They've been right there with him, watching him eat, probably watching him bathe or whatever. I don't know. Okay, here we go. All right. He told Peter and the two sons of Zebedee to come with him. Then he began to be very sad and troubled. Jesus said to Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, "My heart is so heavy with grief. I feel as if I am dying." You th- you you think he might have been holding his chest and his mind might not have been complete because of the things that he knew he was getting ready to face? Maybe his knees was a little trembly. Because if you feel like you dying, okay. So if a person hasn't ever experienced a near death experience and you say to them, "I feel like I'm dying," will they understand? So even though it might make them sad to hear you say those words, they they don't know. They have walked with Jesus. They have ate with Jesus. They have studied with Jesus. But if they have not ever had a near death experience, they don't even know how that feels. So could they say to Jesus, "I know how you feel"? And even if they did, would it be the truth? You have to go through something to really know how it feels. Exactly. Now, they could have sat around Jesus and be like, "What is you sad for? You got in the flesh. You know all of this and this little thing gonna take you out. Ain't nothing even happened yet. All these miracles you did and why is you sad?" But Jesus understood what he had to go through. Even though they watched him walk, they were not walking in his shoes. Right? So you can walk with a person. You can live in a house with a person. There are parents and husbands and wives, okay, and children that have walked next to their best friend, their husband, their wife, their kids, and never even knew that this person was thinking about taking their life. No. They can tell you dead in your face, I'ma see you later, knowing they won't. You will see them, but they won't see you. I'm sorry. They will see you, but you won't see them because you don't have no plan on making it till later. So then even living with a person, laying in a bed next to a person, eating with a person does not allow you to understand what it is to be them. No? Especially if you haven't ever experienced it for yourself. You said my friend was in the next room when his best friend ended himself and he had no idea until he heard the sound. Until it happened to you. I experienced that with my best friend. She felt that way and finally told me, and I never knew she felt that way. We was friends since 7th grade. I'm trying to tell you, I got them too. So it don't matter how much you think you know a person. It don't matter how closely you walk with a person. You will never, ever, ever, ever truly understand what it is. Silent battles. Come on. What it is to live as them until you have to do it or you are there. And even if you are there to experience it, you are still not feeling what they are feeling. Yes or no? I tried with my mom downstairs. She never knew I tried until years later. I was 40 years old. Wow. Okay, hold on, y'all. I gotta run to the restroom because I've been drinking my water. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Get this cracking. All right. Here we go. So it says, Jesus said to Peter, are you serious? What the heck? Oh. Okay. Here we go. So it says, then he began to be, oh, we read that already. I'm sorry. Jesus said to Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, my heart is so heavy with grief, I feel as I am dying. Wait here and stay awake with me. Then Jesus went on a little farther away from them. So he ate with everybody. They left together. He left nine of them over here. He took 3 with him and said, now y'all wait here and I'm going to go over there. That y'all read that too? You said it feels like your heart is being pulled out of your chest. That part. So they ate together. 13 of them left. 9 had to go sit over here. 3 of them got to go with him, so that was a total of 4. And then once he got to a certain point, they couldn't even go with him. So there were some people that was only supposed to go this far. It was some people that was only supposed to go this far. And then even those people didn't get to go to the other place. Yes or no? They didn't get to go and stand right behind Jesus while he was praying. He went away from them. So it was the group, then it was part of the group, then it was the smaller group, and then it was Jesus by himself. Do you hear me? They all ate together. But out of the 12, only 3 was 9 was able to go so far. Then these 3 got to walk a little bit longer with him. But in the end, Jesus ended up by himself. Did he or did he not? When it was time for him to bear the weight of what he was about to carry, who carried it for him? We at 38. So even though they was walking with him, they wasn't going to carry the weight that he was carrying. Because he had a different job from what they did. Yes or no? Could they have said to Jesus, well, Jesus, if I was you, I would do this? Huh? But did they even understand really and fully what Jesus was about to do? Because we don't even know if half of them really even believed that he was going to come back from the dead. They said they did, but did they really believe it? Because to be dead 3 days is a long time. You hear me? Ooh, this is for me decided. It's time for me to depart with my business partner. We are not on the same page spiritually, and I feel God is separating us. Listen to me. He will do it. Okay. All right. Let me ask you a question. Did they feel like they was dying? When he told them, I feel like I'm dying, you said, side-eye Doubting Thomas. Oh, here we go. Huh? Did the feeling of like they would jump on them all of a sudden just because they was right by Jesus? Or was he the only one in that situation feeling it? Now, did they have empathy or sympathy for him or whatever? Yeah. But was they feeling what he was feeling? Now, when you see your friend cry, it might make you cry. Or if someone you love is upset, it might make you upset. But you're not upset and your feelings are not the exact same. Y'all both feeling upset, but you're not upset like they upset because it's them. Right? So they walk with Jesus, they talk with Jesus, they ate with Jesus, they slept in the same vicinity as Jesus. They went through some of the things that Jesus went through, but they was not feeling what Jesus was feeling. Because the walk that Jesus had was different from the walk that they had. And even in the disciples, their walks wasn't the same either. They all had the same goal, which was to get Jesus, the message, the good news out to the people. But all of their walks was going to be different. Even the two by two that went, their thoughts were different. How they felt was different. What they might have done in each situation is different. So nobody can say, oh, well, I know how Thomas feel because blah, blah, blah. Or I know how Judas felt because blah, blah, blah. Because they didn't. Because even when you are walking with people, your experience is still going to be different. We all came here from different walks of life. And so even though we have experienced similar things, I haven't walked your life and you haven't walked mine. And my pain, even though you might have empathy for me, you don't feel it. Your pain that you have in your body right now, even though I might have empathy for you or whatever it is, I don't feel it. My knee don't hurt because your knee hurt. You hear me? My pain ain't your pain. My walk ain't your walk. And just because we walk together, don't mean you know how it feels. Different parts of the same body. Come on. But if my hand is hurting, my leg ain't going to be hurting. Just my hand. If my head is hurting, my feet are fine. No? You can lay next to your child or husband or wife that's sick. Feel the heat coming off of their body. Feel the sweat coming off of their body. Feel their body move when they cough because it shake the bed. And if you back to back, you can even sometimes feel the rumble that is in their chest. But what all they are feeling, unless you have the same sickness, and even if you do, your symptoms could be different. You might even get thrown up on. Don't mean you feel how they feel. That throw up had to come up out of and they might not make it. Now you feel nasty because you got throw up on you, but they feel nasty because they had to taste it. No? Both of y'all got to smell it, but you didn't have to taste it. You don't got that burning in your feeling, but you might have got some on your arm. You said you're going through you're in the hospital with her, but you're not going through what she's enduring. Exactly. And there are some times and situations where because people have been around you, they have been exposed to you, even my own mother. And I have to say, just like y'all said, I was going through all kind of turmoil. But guess what? She couldn't understand because her walk is different from mine. And she didn't understand why I did certain things. She didn't understand why I wouldn't do certain things. Guess what? It wasn't her walk. Do you hear me? Jesus was going to save the world. The people that was walking with him, they couldn't save the world. They could only tell the good news. And it wasn't until Jesus went away from them that they was even able to do some of the things that he did. They got a little part of it. But because they weren't the ones holding the weight, it wasn't until he left. Let let me ask you a question. Yes, very true. Two of my friends lost their mom, and I didn't know how to console them because I hadn't experienced that. Come on, this part, this part. Maybe they learned to only question some of his things. Listen, how many of the disciples were crucified, whether it be upside down or whatever? How many disciples actually got crucified, like on a cross? Out of the 12, we ain't gonna go into the 72, but how many out of the 12 actually got nailed to a cross, a tree, whatever you want to call it? How many? You said you believe that's why we go through these experiences. It is? Yeah. Can you tell me how many of the disciples actually got crucified? Tell me who got crucified. No, we don't guess. We go find out. Okay, who? Somebody was crucified. Okay, Peter and Andrew. Peter was crucified upside down. So out of the 12, it was only 2 that almost experienced what Jesus did. They went through the physical part of what Jesus did. Only 2 out of the 12. Did they go through the spiritual part? No. Because the weight of the world was not on them when they was getting nailed. That had already been taken care of. So even though they only 2 went through the physical part of what Jesus went through, they still didn't have the weight on the world on their chest and on their heart, and the sin of the world on their heart. God got you, pumpkin. So even though they experienced the physical, their mind wasn't in the same place. Because how do we know that every soul since Adam was not running, every face running through his mind? And we all know that if you dying, it said your life flashed before you. So how do we know that the moment that they start knocking his hand into that thing, or his feet, that every time he didn't go through from Adam to Noah, and then from Noah to the end, because he's seen everybody. So they probably, when they were dying, were thinking about their mama, their cousin, the people that they met. But the faces that was flashing between Jesus' eyes, or in his eyes, was every face that was ever going to be born. What do people say when they almost die? I saw my kids, I saw my mama, I thought about my husband, I thought about my wife. The most important people to you. Here we go. Everybody was important to God. So that means that everybody was important to Jesus. But just because they were nailed to a cross like him, the weight on their heart and what they saw before they died wasn't the same, because their call was different from God's. Their call was different from Jesus's. When they got on the cross, all of the debt for sin had already been paid, huh? Sometimes there's people that have gone before you, and even though you might have some of the same situations, that don't mean you felt what they felt. Because somebody had to go before you and feel the pain. Somebody already took the abuse. Somebody already dealt with the snakes. Somebody already went before you. So even though you might experience some of the things that they experience, that don't mean you know how they feel. So you can always speculate on what they should have done or how they should go through something, but until you've had to pick up that weight and know how heavy it is. Plenty of people that went to pick something up that they saw somebody else put down and threw their back out. There are some things that people that thought they could deal with it, they lost their mind trying. No? Some people went to pick up the weight that somebody else bared and broke something. Some of them couldn't even lift it. Oh, I could do this. Can't even stand up straight holding the weight. So it's always easiest to say what you would do or how you would do something. But until you have been put in that position, you don't know. And even if you did, guess what? Even if you are put in that situation, you didn't walk the steps that they walked to get to that point. Y'all came from different directions. Y'all might end up in the same situation, but even when you are bearing your cross, you're not thinking about what I'm thinking about. Because the weight that you got to bear is different from mine. And you don't know how heavy it is until you didn't have to pick it up. Lack of information has us misjudging situations that'll keep you doing it all the time until you got to pick up that box. Do you hear me? Nobody know what Jesus went through but Jesus, because Jesus was the only Savior of the world. And even though there were people that walked with him, they didn't know what he felt because they didn't have to bear the same weight that he did. You hear me? And only 2 out of the 12 even took a pinch of what it is that he felt. Because even though they were being nailed and their bodies went through the same thing, what they were seeing before they died and what Jesus was seeing before he died, 2 different things. You might be spreading the same message. You might be living in the same apartment building, but your apartment don't look like everybody else's. Your bathroom ain't the same color as everybody else's. Y'all all live in the same building, but your house don't smell like their house. They plates might be paper. Yours might be crystal. Yours might be porcelain. Yours might be plastic, but it's plates in there. But maybe my plate is heavier than your plate. Maybe your plate is disposable and I can't stop. I gotta hold mine. I can't throw mine away because then I won't have none. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's always easy to try and put yourself in a person's shoes, but until you have put them on and had to walk in them, you don't know. So we can speculate on what we think, but until you had to do it, you won't know. You won't know. You want to know a situation, example of this? People say, if I was the boss, I would do this, right? And if I was the boss, I would do that. Not that those are not good ideas. But if they get into that situation or that position, what another person might have been able to hold down for 10 years or 12 years or 15 years, some people, when they're put in that very situation, don't make it one. Until the day they get to be the boss. Ooh, Sarah, have you ever been an employee and then the boss? It's like me with one leg. You don't know how phantom pain feels until you lose a limb. Come on, auntie. Come on. Come on. Yes, and back the other way. Okay. Okay. So understand, y'all. Because sometimes, I was talking conversation yesterday. I said some people don't understand. And sometimes there's not even words to say. Sometimes it ain't. Do you hear me? It's like somebody that is trying to, you know, I don't know, quit being a whatever. If that person has never had that addiction or that problem, or it's like a woman that's never been abused telling a woman that has been abused how she should conduct herself. You ain't never even been abused. You don't know how scary that situation is when a person is. You might not take them seriously, but you ain't seen a devil in their eyes when they said they gonna go and take me a better year. You ain't never been stalked. You ain't never showed up with nobody already in your house when you get in there. So it's easy to say what you would do in a situation or how you should conduct a certain thing, but until you've had to do it, the Jewish leaders felt like they could tell Jesus how he needed to act and what he needed to do and how he needed to present himself. They didn't even understand the call. Then when he told them what his call was, they heckled him for it. But then when what he was doing started to prove real, now they wanted to get rid of him. And now they want to whisper about his character to other people and sow seeds of craziness. So you laughed at him when he said he was the King of Kings. You laughed at him when he said he was a healer. But then when he started to heal, now you got to get rid of him because he really who he say he is. Or you started to speculate on why he was doing what he was doing when they didn't even understand. I had religious leaders telling me that God was not telling me not to go to church. Me, right? They kept saying, forsake not to assemble yourself, right? And God was telling me in my mind, I need to talk to you personally without nobody around. And so I thought it was one day. I thought it was 2 days. I thought it was 3 days. Jesus prayed in front of the masses. He prayed in front of the 12. He spoke to the 3. The 9 probably didn't hear what he said to the 3. But even with him speaking to the 3, when he went to talk to God, it was only him and God about what he was going through and about what he felt because nobody else around him probably could bear the weight. Do you hear me? Now get this. Here we go. It says, then Jesus went on a little farther away from them. He fell to the ground and prayed, my Father, if it is possible, don't make me drink from this cup. God, I really don't want to go through this. And I really don't want to do this. I mean, if you want to give me a different situation, that'll be great. Because this right here, I don't know. Okay? Come on. He said, he said, my Father, if it is possible, don't make me drink from this cup. But do what you want, not what I want. He said, if you give me some more time or a different decision, I'll do that. But if that's not what you want, I'm ready. Jesus put what he wanted on the back burner to do what God was asking him to do. But it was in his private time that he talked to God about what he did and did not want. Those are not things that he talked about to the masses. And even the closest people to him, he didn't even talk to them about it. How he felt and what he really wanted, even though he told them what he was going to do and he told them whatever it was that he was feeling, when it became too much for him, it was just between him and God. It wasn't between nobody else. And he said, even though I don't want to experience this, if this is what you want me to experience, I will. But I'm telling you, I don't want to do this. I mean, if you could find somebody else, I'd be happy. But if I have to, I will. And he was sad. He had just had a great time, was laughing, but we don't know if it was in the back of Jesus' mind what he was experiencing, and he just had to hold it in until he got by himself. And even though he was around the people that he trusted, it was still some things that he could only talk to God about. Because baby, nobody around here would even really understand. Because what they were supposed to be doing and what they were going to do after he left, that had nothing to do with what he had to do before they even got to that point. Because had he have not said yes, then there's a lot of things that would not be just right now. There would be no forgiveness of sins. There would be no repentance. If Jesus had not done the things that he had to do, But he had to do what he had to do so that they could go and do what they needed to do. Or what they were called. But again, they still didn't bear the weight. Even though they were in similar experiences, even though they were in the same situations or going to have to go and teach the word, they still didn't experience what Jesus did. And seeing as how we done all picked up our own cross and nobody else carried it for us, can't nobody else tell you how it felt for them to be nailed to their cross. Only you. You see what I'm saying? You can't tell me what I felt when the nails was being, and how I should feel when the nails are being, because you're not feeling it. They not nailing your hands, they nailing mine. And even if they is, the person that might be nailing your stuff in might have just hit one time. Well, maybe this person that's nailing mine in is shivering and they scared to do it and it's their first time, so they not hitting it as hard. So maybe my pain is going to drag out and yours was instant and it was done with. Maybe the wood that you're being crucified on is softer or harder than the wood I'm being crucified on. So guess what? It's going to be a different amount of force that's needed to keep me right here. Maybe I weigh more than you. So there's going to be more weight on my hands than it is on yours. You may be light. So it's not that you're not going to experience pain, but gravity pulls things down. The heavier, the faster, right? Or is it the lighter, the faster? I don't know. Do you hear me? Yeah, y'all hear me? Hey. The more dense, it sinks faster. So that means that a person that might not have as much depth might float on the top, but a person that got some depth, they gonna sink. Bible talk about surface things. That's why I'm trying to get down to a medium. Hilarious. You say, wait a minute now, I ain't trying to sink faster. But think about that. You said, who's cutting the onions? I don't know. Jesus was cutting them earlier. So a person that has always just floated on the top of the water like CERCA, because I don't do big bodies of water like that, you ain't got to worry about me going deep sea diving. I won't know if I'm going to sink or float, because I'm not, as far as physical water, I'm not getting in no deep water. Now, spiritually, take me as deep as you need to. But physically, oh, no. Nope. I have thalassophobia for sure. You hear me? So I'll say, there's going to be information. There's going to be situations. There are going to be whatever. But you cannot assume that because you are close to a person, that because you might have went through some things with a person, that you know exactly how they feel, or that you can carry the weight of what they have to carry. Plenty of times God said it was somebody that had to help somebody come pick up the weight, because it was heavy. but he didn't transfer the weight over to them. So that person that was feeling the weight all by themselves at first just had a little bit of help. He didn't take the weight away. It's like a woman being pregnant and a husband can sympathize or empathize with her, whatever, sympathize or whatever, but he don't know what it feels like. They do the watermelon challenge, but that's not inside your uterus. Even though you have that watermelon on your stomach and it's hard for you to walk, you don't understand what it feels like to have feet under your ribs, or what it feels like when your baby's arm goes across the inside of your stomach and you feel it for the first time. You don't know what it feels like to have somebody tap dance and doing like this, massaging your bladder whenever they feel like it, and you got to try to walk and hold your stomach up and not pee. You ain't never carried the weight of a baby, so you would never know. You don't know what it feels like when only one side of your back feel okay, because the baby won't lay. Anytime you lay on the other side, they make you turn over because they don't like you laying like that. You ain't never experienced this, so you don't know. Even with those shock things and husbands feeling the muscle spasms, you still don't have the weight of that baby bearing down on your parts. You don't feel that. So you're not feeling the pain and the weight. You're only feeling the pain. Not to mention the baby moving because they uncomfortable and moving their head and turning their head and taking their elbows. All of this is going on while contractions is happening. God forbid the baby be breached. That's a whole nother pain. So it's easy to say what you will do until you be put in a situation. I hold women to a higher standard for what y'all have to endure during pregnancy. Come on, and after. Right. Because the pain don't stop till the baby come out, and then, oh, wait a minute, more contractions. Now you gotta deliver what held your blessing. You would think after the baby come out, that'd be all the contractions. I shouldn't have to feel no more pain. Oh, no. Oh, God, you already blessed me. Why do I got to feel this right now? Oh, my God, why do I have to feel this right now? I already went through the hard part. I already carried it by myself. People said they knew how I felt. But guess what? When I'm in that bed and I'm pushing, ain't nobody in there feeling no pain but me. When I'm carrying that load, ain't nobody, C-section 2, come on, ain't nobody feeling it but me. And then even after I have pushed forth what God has brought together in my womb, it's still some more pain after that. I got to deliver what carried it. And then, I got ripped in the process. Using the bathroom. Let me put some water on that burn. So even after all of the pain that I felt for 9 months, going through the pain of delivery, going through the pain of carrying, expelling what I carried, now I still got some, and let's not remember these bad boys, I can't even put my arms down. So I got pain here, pain here, pain here. And now, I gotta feed what I birthed. No matter the pain that I feel, no matter how engorged my thoughts might be, no matter the discomfort, I have to now keep alive what I birthed. There's a whole different set of pain for that. And every time that my baby pulls on me, what was stretched out is gonna pull too. And that hurt as well. Because it's pushing things that don't need to be in there out. So, now, do people get to pick up what it is that you birthed? Of course. Do they get to enjoy what you birthed? Yes, they do. But did they go through the growing pains for you to get that blessing out? No, they did not. Once the blessing came, did they have to deal with what you had to deal with to finish birthing what it is that God wanted into the world? No, they didn't. And even then, to keep what God gave you alive, the other women in the room can't nurse your baby. You got to do that. Because your boobs made the milk. But it was over time that your body adjusted to get ready for what it is that you birthed. But everybody else gets to enjoy the baby, but you still have pain going through. And they might even see you start to leak, but they don't feel it. When you look at your spiritual life, it was only you and Jesus there when it was conceived. And it was in a dark space that your spiritual life grew. And even though other people have had spiritual experiences, it wasn't yours. They have absolutely no idea of what it felt like to carry the baby that you were going to bring into the earth. Period. Whatever it is that your gift or your calling or your whatever else it is, they don't know what it took you to birth that. And it always look easy if you ain't carrying it. Because you didn't have the morning sickness. You didn't have the mood swings. You didn't have any of it. You just get to enjoy what it is that I birthed, my baby. And even then, if something go wrong with it, you gonna hand it back. You ain't gonna carry it. You'll hand it back. If I can say this, when I was pregnant, when I did work, when I was pregnant, people saw me every single day, right? And they might, when I first got pregnant, nobody knew I was pregnant. Well, it was this lady named Bridget that did, because she came in the bathroom when I was throwing up, and she had kept telling me, "You pregnant?" And I was like, "Whatever, lady." Anyway, Miss Bridget. But yeah, it wasn't until I started to show that people knew I was pregnant, right? So that means something that I had done in private started to be seen out in the open, right? And even if these people saw me every single day at work, when I went home and laid down in my bed, nobody knew the discomfort I was going through. Nobody knew when I showed up at work that my amniotic sac was being ripped away from my uterus. My doctor used to say, why can't you sit still? Well, he didn't know that there was something happening on the inside of me that nobody could see. You saw I was pregnant, but you didn't know the pain I was going through. Yes, when my last baby, I told y'all the story. I would have bled out and she would have suffocated in 4 minutes. So yeah, they saw me cute and pregnant, whatever. But they was wondering why I was so uncomfortable. But I didn't have to tell them that I can't even lay on my right side because I feel like it's a knife stabbing me, taking slowly down my side. And guess what? The doctors didn't even know. With all the high-risk pregnancy, they didn't even know. And I kept telling my doctor, I feel something. Oh, you're fine. It's just because you've been pregnant 2 times in less than that part. That's exactly what I had. Your uterus is tired. Oh, I've seen this before. You're just tired. Until I delivered it. And then it was, half of what was on the inside of me was dying and nobody even know because I was the only one experiencing the pain. So on the outside, yeah, I looked fine. And people couldn't understand why I was so uncomfortable, but they didn't know what was happening on the inside. Not even the doctors that was taking care of me. So much so that he paid me afterwards because I kept telling him something was wrong and he wouldn't listen. But because he had been a OBGYN for over 30 years and felt like he delivered over 3,000, 4,000, however many babies, he felt like he knew my body. First of all, sir, you a man. Second of all, I don't care how many babies, and he delivered all my kids. Every last one of my kids he delivered. But every pregnancy is different. Every trial is different. Every call is different. Do you hear me? And just because you've seen me before today, don't mean you know the pain I'm experiencing today, because this could be a new problem. This could be a new issue. The same clothes that you wear when you're 3 months, you can't wear them when you're 9 months. So there are going to be different sets of clothing for the seasons in your life. There are going to be different sets of clothing for the trimesters in your life, because as you grow, things become uncomfortable. One, because your stomach ain't never been this size, or this baby or this trial has never come up in your life. So how do you deal with something if you've never experienced it before? You have to feed what you birthed, because you experienced the growing pains for it. You can't just go up and take nobody's baby and say, this is my baby now. You didn't go through the pain of it all. You don't know what it took to birth that baby. You didn't have to go through getting your blood drawn, drinking that nasty orange stuff. You didn't have to go every 3 months and get this and that, the testing run. You didn't have the scares about if the baby is okay or not. You just get to enjoy the baby, the already finished product. But you weren't there in the middle of the night when that baby was growing. You were not there when the baby was conceived. And you weren't there at the doctor's appointments when mom was finding out what was going on with her body. You wasn't there. And even if you was, you still didn't experience what she experienced. Oh, no, no, no. I trusted him. It was a blessing for me. See, listen. Because the exact amount of money that he gave me a check for, I had already had what you call it? I had a settlement. So I had a settlement in the works. And then when I had her, there were some things that I was going, because I hadn't been able to really work in like the last 6 weeks. So, but he, he didn't really know all of that. And so then once I told him, once he found out, he called me to the office and handed me a check. Asked me how much my bills was and whatnot, and he handed me a check. I don't know no doctors giving people money, but mine did. And because he had kept me comfortable through my other pregnancies, I wasn't tripping. And plus, I already knew I had other money on the way. I could have acted ugly and filed a suit and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But the blessing that I needed right after I had my daughter, I didn't have to wait on it. It was waiting on me. Did I have to drive an hour to go get it? Yes. But it was waiting on me. Sometimes when you go through ugly stuff, it's so that you can get a blessing at the very time that you need it. And other people are not going to understand. It's okay. It ain't for them to understand because they not carrying or birthing the same thing that you're birthing. They have something else, a different child. That had two mamas can't birth the same baby. That baby can only come through one birth canal. So whatever it is that you are birthing, one, you can't steal nobody else's thing that they had to birth because that's their baby to birth. Spiritually, that could be businesses, that could be whatever else. You have to focus on what God is growing on the inside of you. Because it wouldn't do me no good to be worried about another pregnant baby, a pregnant woman, and I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not focused on the baby that I'm supposed to be birthing. I need to keep this baby healthy, the one that I was sent to birth. I can't worry about what she's doing now. Do I pray for her? Do I hope she okay? Yes. But I need to be worried about what I'm supposed to birth. And that's it, because I'm going to have to keep alive what I birthed. Not what nobody else birthed. Only me. And I can't take nobody's baby and say, oh, I'm taking this baby for myself because you don't know how to raise them. Because God didn't give it to you. He gave it to me. He gave me this baby. He gave me this baby. You can't just take my baby. You want me to do all the work and then you just going to take my stuff and act. No, where do we do that at? You said facts. It's become easier to ignore the crowd and hecklers and play my position. I'm trying to tell you. You carry your baby, and I'm going to carry mine. You carry your cross, and I'm going to carry mine. And even though we might be standing up here on this hill together, and we all nailed to a cross, not one of us is feeling the same amount of pain. The stuff that's going through your mind before you die is not, I'm not seeing the faces you see. And you're not seeing the faces that I see. You're not thinking about the sins that I committed. You thinking about the sins that you committed. You hear me? You're not thinking about when I wronged God. You're thinking about when you wronged him. It's a real thing, y'all. It's so easy to say how we would carry somebody else's burden, but you haven't had to lift it. So you don't know what you would do. You don't know if you would even be able to crawl under the weight of what somebody else has to bear. You might not even be able to stand up and they can hold it on their shoulder because they trained to carry the weight that they are carrying, whether it looks easy to you or not. That does not decide or tell you the weight of what they carry. Some people make things look easy, and it's not. It's just because they train those muscles to be able to do that very thing. Like if I'm a bodybuilder, but my thing is legs. Well, my legs might be a lot stronger than yours, but you train your forceps or whatever you call it, biceps and triceps. You a upper body model. I'm a leg model or a leg bodybuilder. We not pushing the same weight. I'm on my back pushing mine. You standing up holding yours. I had to get lower than you to be able to push up. My back is almost on the floor. Gravity from you standing up lifting. You bent over. You almost already standing up picking up yours. Right? But I'm all the way on the ground with gravity. Now both of us got gravity pushing against us. It might even be the same amount of weight, but because we're not in the same position, the weight is distributed differently. And it ain't gonna do me no good to have strong biceps or triceps if I'm a leg person. Y'all done seen them. Some dudes, they whole upper body is cock diesel strong, but they got chicken legs. You said, well, you didn't ever think to do no leg days once or twice, you know? Mind your business. Because the only way or place that I have to show my strength is right here. I don't need the leg strength because that don't have nothing to do with what I'm supposed to carry. But if I am a leg bodybuilder, then my legs have to be strong. That don't have nothing to do with your top part of your body having to be strong. You just got to be able to lift the weight that's put on your bar. From whatever position it is that you will be lifting it. Because where you are is not where I am, and where I am is not where you are. And you wasn't even there when they was training. Y'all bodybuilders is coming from all different parts of the country. You didn't see me training every day. You didn't see me change my diet. You didn't see me not get no sleep. You didn't see me study all the bodybuilders that I knew was great. You didn't see it. You just see the end result of it. Once this thing got all oiled up and the muscles were already formed. But if I show you what I looked like prior to me starting to train my body, you wouldn't even recognize me. It don't matter who you see today. I didn't always look like this. There was training that I had to go through that you were not there for. And only the trained eye can really almost see it, but you don't know because you wasn't there. You hear me? My coworker tried to tell me, don't talk to her about God because I'm not living right. I was like, okay, never mind then. Listen, let them. Nephew, did you hear me say, listen, you might not have been here when people was asking me who ordained me. Who was here for that when we first started this and people was asking me who ordained me? And how do I hear from God if I don't go to church? Was y'all here for that? Y'all remember they used to be busting my head talking about who taught me to teach? And I was like, God did it. The same person that kept me from throwing my legs behind my ears when wasn't nobody around. He didn't even teach me in a group. He taught me by myself. There was nobody around when I was learning. My godmother in the beginning, probably, that was 2006. I didn't really get serious until about 2011, 12. You hear me? Nobody was there with me. It was me and God when I was writing and reading. There was nobody. My godmother, God would let me talk to her, but it wasn't about the things that I was reading. Because at the place where she worshiped, they can't even study it. So if, I'm not saying God can't give you the revelation, but if I've had 5 years of studying this certain thing, if they stay out of your Kool-Aid, then they will be able to hear from God to that part. Birth your baby, not mine. When God gave me the view or what I was supposed to do, and he was giving me the timeline of it, he didn't even let me talk about it for a long time. It was a secret I had to keep. I didn't even understand where, when, how. I just knew that this is what he wanted me to do. From the time he gave me that, it took about 10 years to come to fruition. But in that time, he was teaching me what I needed to do to be able to carry the weight that I carry today. If God hadn't taught me, I would have quit a long time ago. If I hadn't already dealt with, I told y'all the thing where me and my friend was talking, and all of a sudden, we in her room, it's just me and her, and God had me stand up in a chair like this. She on the bed right there, and I'm just standing there. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, I can't sit down. She was like, what are you doing? And then God showed me a vision of me standing at a firing stake, and people was just firing at me, telling me what they thought about how I do, blase skip, all of this. Tears started to roll down my eyes. I'm like, I can't sit down. And then I was able to sit down, and she was like, what was that about? I said, I don't know. But I can tell you what I saw. Well, you know what happened that evening? I was having a Bible study with about 5 or 6 people. I don't know. It might have been 10. I don't remember the exact number of people. And all of a sudden, one young lady started telling me how she felt about what I should be doing and how God ain't this or that. And if you're so blessed, blah, blah, blah. And baby, before I knew it, everybody in the room was taking shots. I said, oh. But he had me sitting on the floor in the lowest part of the room. And I just peeked over the end of her bed and looked at her. She said some stuff too. I just peeked over the end of the bed and looked at her. Because now we know why God had me stand up in your chair, because I was in the very same room when all of these people started taking shots at me about what they think I need to be doing and how I need to be handling myself. But he told me before. I just didn't completely understand what it meant. And I had to sit there and take it. Sure did. But guess what? What God proved that I was supposed to be doing, I'm doing it right now. You want to know what's crazy? Every single day, I have somebody telling me how God didn't call me to do this, or that I'm a Jezebel, or whatever it is that they feel. Don't change the baby I'm carrying, because nobody was around when I had to, when he impregnated me with the baby. So I see certain situations, okay, they be replaying. I understood that had I never been able to get through that day, I would have never made it over here. Do you hear me? They told me that I was imposing this stuff. Remember, I told y'all, she was like, if you wanted to get a job, you could. This is the same person that went with me. We was going to the same job interview. And she walked in on that man telling me, I won't pay you $12 an hour, but I'll give you $50,000 for a purchase order. And that day she said, I'm not going to talk to you about getting no job no more. Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Because you don't believe it. It doesn't matter what you believe. But she became a believer after that day. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. She wasn't throwing shade. She was just saying, I don't understand why he won't let you work. And I said, well, evidently he got something else for me to do because I'm overly qualified. You heard the man say it. Not saying, oh, woe is me, whatever. He literally said, you're overqualified for the position. I don't think you're going to stay. No, I won't pay you $12 an hour. At that time, it was just a receptionist position or whatever. He said, but I will give you this money because I was telling him about he was like, what do you do? Tell him about my company. He said, oh, yeah. If you get a purchase order together, I got you. You hear me? So people are not always going to understand what it is that you're supposed to do or why you are doing certain things or what God has called you to do. It don't have nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with make sure you carrying your baby. And whatever growing pains you're supposed to go through, you make sure that you are growing through them. And it's not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be the same. The same way you walk when you first get pregnant ain't the same way you walk at the end. The same clothes that you wear. You have gone through different stages. And men, y'all might not understand because y'all ain't never carried a baby, but if you've been around a woman that's pregnant, you understand that you can lay closer to her when y'all first make that baby. But after the baby is on its way, there's some different things that can't happen. She can't lay on her back and receive you. She have to lay on her side or be on all fours. It's a different way that you have to still be able to do what it is that you're used to doing. Right or wrong? Anybody got a baby mama in here? And I ain't trying to be in y'all business or a wife. When your wife was pregnant, as close as you could lay to her face to face, you couldn't do that. Once she was 9 months, you dang near gotta lean over and kiss her, and she gotta lean over and kiss you, because if she try to hug you like this, y'all gonna be far apart. And there's intimate moments, they can't be done the same way while she's carrying whatever it is that she's about to be delivering. It might not even just be comfortable for her. Because now, where that space was open, it's not open no more. It's a whole bunch of pressure. It's a whole bunch of weight. It's a whole bunch of things that are different. So expecting somebody to be the exact same all the time when they are growing, I'm a baby mama and a wife, and you speaking facts. So then relate this to you're not always going to be the same. Sometimes you're in different growing seasons. And if you got more hormones, you cry faster, you get angrier faster, you get sick to your stomach. There's a lot of different things that are happening when God is growing what he is growing in you. And even though you're going to be able to benefit from it, so will other people, but they still don't know what you went through to get that baby here. They don't. They don't. And that's spiritually and naturally. Nobody knows. Even though I tell y'all some of my experiences, nobody knows every single thing that I went through to be able to do what I do right here. Y'all don't know how many tears I cried. Y'all don't know how many times I felt misunderstood. Y'all don't know how many times people said that God was not calling me and all of these different things. Y'all wasn't here. Y'all just met me after it was birthed already. Nobody don't know. And even when God decided to do what he did for me, it was only me and him there. And it's only me and him here now. When I'm in here by myself, don't nobody know what I feel. I can try to describe it to you, but even sometimes I can't find the words to do so because maybe there is none for what I feel. Because guess what? This, with you all, never done it before. Have I ministered to people? Yes, but not y'all. Have I done video? Yeah, but not with y'all. And even who I was 3 years ago, I've gone through some things even since then. So if you expect me to act the same every day and be the same, first of all, you're not letting me be a human. And I've told y'all from the beginning, don't expect nothing out of me that you don't expect out of yourself. Period. Y'all hear me? Because the same way, if you bump your side and it hurt and you don't feel it again until you bump it, it's the same way it happened for me. Listen, I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to do what it is that God wants me to do. And a lot of times it's not easy, and a lot of times I don't even be wanting to do it. Just like Jesus said, can you let this cup pass from me? I got these people on this side. I got people in my family that's going against me. I got so-called friends that's talking crazy. I got people that's only around me for what they can get. Do you hear me? Folks that was supposed to be my friends, now they not my friends. They ain't really friends. You hear me? So, I mean, just pray for me. If you ever think that I'm on the wrong path, pray for me. Pray for me. That's what I got. And I'm going to pray for y'all. Because we all go through stuff. And life is not perfect. God said it will be. And he said it's seasons. He said there's a time for sadness, a time for joy, a time for this, a time for that. Don't forget that. I am not above that timing. You hear me? You got me? I'm still in the same line with y'all. So it might be my fall. It might be your spring. It might be your winter. And it might be her summer. We all in the season. It might not be the same ones. You hear me? We ain't all in the same season at the same time. We might be in similar seasons, or I done been in the fall and I done been in the summer, but if I'm in winter, it don't matter. You are not in summer or winter. I'll be right back, y'all. Hold on. want to use this as my last example. You can be watching a movie with somebody, right? You could be watching a movie. We didn't all watch the same movies, right? We've gone and had our movie homework, right? Right? Maybe the first time that you watched the movie and you seen it before you knew me, you just watched the movie. But after being here at WOIU, maybe you started to pay attention to the symbols and not just looking at the people, but now you might not even be paying attention to what the person is doing. Now you're looking at all the symbols on the back. Well, maybe the first time that I watched it, I didn't even pay attention to what the people was doing. I looked at the symbols on the back. We looking at the same movie, but that don't necessarily mean we paid attention to the same things. Just like you can read something and I can read something, but God might give us different revelations of what it means. Do you understand? Or maybe one of us doesn't have the rest of the information, or maybe you only got a part of it. Maybe this is your beginning. Maybe it's my beginning. So even if we both reading the same thing, our understanding isn't the same. Prime example. Some of y'all, yes, this only applies to the people that didn't before they came here. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm getting ready to say, if you already did prior to coming here, this, I'm not saying it don't apply to you, but this is in reference to the people. Okay. Okay? So when you used to read Genesis, one body, many members. Come on. When you used to read Genesis, you took Genesis at its word. Whether you felt like something was missing or not, when you taught Genesis, you taught it like that was all that there was. I know I used to be a 66er. Yes or no? You did? How about you? Yes? Yes? You taught it like that was the, we don't know how many kids Adam, it don't tell us. And we'll stand on that. Dang near be ready to fight somebody. But it was only because you didn't have a deeper revelation or understanding or even access to the knowledge that would not make you stand on that principle anymore, right? But now when you go and you teach Genesis, you teach it in a completely different understanding, and you have a completely different revelation of what Genesis means, even just up into the 10th chapter. Now you know, those of you that just got this while you was here now, not if you had it before, this don't apply to you. But if you have learned a new way to study here, somebody had to see it that way to teach it that way. Somebody had to be the person that was assailed by other people to even be here, able to stand here and tell you, I know you think this is crazy, but I guarantee you there's more. Did I tell y'all everything in one day? No. It took time. Just like it took time for some of y'all to even wrap y'all mind around, me included, when I first heard it, that there was more books. Because of what I have been taught, I thought it could only be, I have had whole arguments. I'm trying to tell you. And would stand on it. Baby, you couldn't tell me it was an extra book for no, I slap you in your mouth. You don't talk about my God like that. Until God gave me a deeper and higher revelation of what it was that I was reading. It ain't that it wasn't right in my face the whole time. I just didn't have the revelation of it. I didn't even realize what all was right in front of my face. Do you hear me? You you said I cursed someone out talking crazy about that. Yeah, I know the deal. I do. I know. Baby, you couldn't tell. Baby, that's why I said this is 66ers Anonymous, honey. I mean, let me ask you a question. Uh, Narcotics Anonymous, AA, Shopping Anonymous, all the anonymouses was started by somebody who had the same issue, right or wrong. The only way that they can tell you a system to get through it is if they had already been through it, right? It wasn't started by nobody that didn't have the issue. It wasn't started by somebody that didn't know how to stop. It was started with somebody that felt exactly like you did at some point in time as to why. Y'all reasons for starting could be different. Maybe you started on your own. Maybe somebody started you. There's some people, they grew up in the church. Some people found Christ on their own. Nobody in their family ever went. Right? You said, hello, Shirley. You know what? Messing with other people's spouses, anonymous. Cheaters, anonymous. Fornicators, anonymous. Pick up stuff that don't belong to me, anonymous. It's a whole bunch of anonymouses. I used to steal time from job, anonymous. You hear me? Don't care about using nobody else's credit card, anonymous. I mean, it's all kind of anonymouses that you... But God got a class for every last one of them. Don't hustle, anonymous. Come on. Hustling, anonymous, baby. Hustling, anonymous. Hoe, anonymous. You know, whoremonger, anonymous. I mean, you know, they're allegedly. Ooh-wee. You hear me? Listen, side piece, anonymous. Not that you know what? You and Mari Ellington, I'm going to need you and Mari, y'all gonna need a part. I was a part of the couple of those anonymouses, okay? The anonymous. Listen, okay, well, the anonymous, we gonna call them anonymouses because this is a hood school. You hear me? Anonymouses. Now, it might be anonymous, but we gonna call them anonymouses over here because this is the hood school, Sarah. Uh-huh. That's what we gonna do. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. We gonna do it. So with that, right. Don't know what you talking about, Auntie. I know you ain't. Excuse me, I'm gonna need her to be enrolled in all the anonymouses, especially the freaky older crowd anonymous. No, that's her class. Don't listen to her. She belongs over there. I guarantee you. You'll see. She'll wait until. Just wait a minute. Yeah, go get in your chair, Auntie. Yeah, they holding it for you. they holding it for you. She gonna need something to drink. She like her blanket too. Don't let her sit next to Mr. George. Move her over here. Yeah. You said let me go in with Auntie. Oh, okay, Miss Lady, they got your seat too. Snitching and out. Mari said I can't with you. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. There was a meeting in the bushes. There was a meeting in the bushes, anonymous, and caught me on the counter. And caught me on the counter, anonymous. If anybody needs to be call me on the counter or hiding in the bushes or running out the back door, anonymous, Those classes are going to be down 2 hallways and to your left. They have your seats for you. Uh-huh. They got your seats. Don't worry about it. Nobody else can get them. They're for you. All of your oh, listen. Ooh. See, I'm gonna keep my seat where I'm at. I ain't been in no bushes. You said, oh, okay. Not on 2 hours. Like, oh, pumpkin. Hey, listen. You said in the corner with the lampshade on anonymous. Not exposed. Save me a seat in the back, Tendra said. Oh, okay. Okay. You said in that wheelchair. On the washing machine spin, Psycho Anonymous. Yep. Right class for Auntie. I told y'all. Can somebody put Auntie? Y'all, you ain't gotta walk Auntie. They gon' I need y'all to wheel Auntie Lucille down to the. I told y'all. I knew it's gonna listen. Yeah. That part. Yep. Hiding in the bathroom, Anonymous. Ooh. Was it a window for you to get out of, or was it too hot? Don't go in nobody's house that don't got a window in their bathroom. Listen. You said not innocent, Anonymous. Ooh. See how many anonymous classes we got? Do you see we got an anonymous class? All of it. For everybody. There is not. Whatever your sin and shame is, we have an anonymous class for it. We ain't gonna tell nobody. You just going on over there. And not in the park after dark, Anonymous. Now listen here. Thank you, God. Thank you. Can we get a window seat? Don't nobody want. Listen, don't want nobody to. Hey, listen. You said it's a class for it. We do. We got a class for all of your stuff. God already paid the price for it. Don't worry about it. He paid for your tuition. He paid for your books. He even paid for your ride to the class so that you don't got to say you don't got the money to go. He's already paid it all for you. He's even bought your graduation outfit because he believes in you. So you just don't feel bad. Everybody in there has been through the same thing you have. You just, I'm going to just enroll as a forever student because all these classes. Auntie, back on the pickup. Get your auntie. I told y'all I should have never got you started. Come on. Come on. Listen. You said I'll do it in Queen's absence. Not you, Sarah. Not the side eye. Caught outside, Anonymous. Not Sarah that gave me the side eye. Well, listen here. Listen. Threw my back out, Anonymous. Jesus. God said that you used to sin against me, that's what I'm going to punish. And you was throwing it back. And he said, I'm going to throw it right out. It's the back of the pickup rodeo truck for me. Yes. Listen, I told you she need to be. See, y'all was playing. Y'all thought I was being mean. The Bible say know those that you labor among. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. You said need to add a new room. Sorry. Well, come on in. We got them. It's the Performing Arts. It's the Performing Arts Center, Anonymous. Oh, Lord Jesus. TT was a hot girl before a hot girl summer. I'm trying to tell. I told you she go in the freaky older lady class down there. The freaky old people class. That's where she got to go. Anonymous. Came home pregnant, Anonymous. Slips under the red usher glove. Slips on and walking people to the corner. Thank you, Mari. Mari said he got his red. Because young people, I keep trying to tell you, folks that lived a life before they met you. Listen, wait, don't we have to tell our stories at the beginning of the class? I'm ready. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Here's my number, Anonymous. Ooh, Jesus. Listen here. Went from innocent to princess of the king. Come on. Come on. Marvin said he got on his gloves and he walking everybody to their classes. You said we got some strong ushers and do because folks' legs is going out on them because they can't even believe they here. You hear me? They ain't had control. So God is He's gonna help them. He's gonna put them with some people that can hold them up. You hear me? You hear me? Y'all remember when Miss Juanita Bynum said, "I don't want to talk to nobody ain't holding on. I don't want to talk to nobody that got triceps and biceps laid in their bed and warm legs. I need to talk to somebody that's really holding on." All the hair on my body just stood up. You heard me? We gonna use her singing right now. I don't want to talk to nobody that ain't really doing it. You can speculate all you want. I need to talk to somebody that's not taking the numbers. I need to talk to somebody that ain't sending parts of their body to people through the phone. It's okay. We got extra strength, double back wide gurneys for transporting the saints. We sure do, Mari, because it's looking like a few people need them in here. I'm gonna need you to go to the left hand corner and take Brother Michael with you, because it's a few people over there laid out. Can y'all go on and pick them up and take them to their class? They don't know. We got a space for them to lay down until they feel better in there. It's a nurse in every class. We got a, what is it, defibrillator. We got them too, just in case you feel like it's too much. We got that. We got it. Caught by the police in the back of the car, Anonymous. No ticket given. God paid it all. Thank you, Jesus. God paid it all. I might have paid it. I'll be okay. Okay. Yeah, I know your knees got a little weak. I be seeing it. I be feeling it. Listen here. But guess what? Oh, girl, probably did. This is the thing. One of the things we talk about here is you have to be honest with God so He can be honest with you. Everybody is going to have a moment of weakness. And I'm not saying you have to give in to your weakness. I'm saying everybody is not going to feel as strong as they do every day. Everybody's level of happiness is not going to be as strong. But you ain't the first person to go through it. And we might all be in different seasons. So you can't expect that if it is night where you are, that the sun is going, night where you are, that the moon is going to be showing somewhere where it's day. It's different hours of the day. And depending on where you even at, according to the equator, you get the sun and moon and stars at different times. It's not that we all ain't under the same sun. It's not that we all ain't gonna see the same stars. But sometimes, depending on your elevation, the stars are closer to you. They're clearer. But if you down in a valley, you might not get to see the stars as much. Or maybe the cloud cover is covering the stars and the moon so you can't see. It ain't the thing there. You just can't see it. You hear me? You hear me? We all under the same sun. We all under the same sky. We all under the same moon. But guess what? We are not all uh uh not strategically. What's the word I'm looking for? Geographically, should I say that? We are not geographically, or what is the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of it right now. I can't even think of it. We ain't all stationed in the same place. Okay? And depending on where you are closer to the heat, I'll say this: the more you decide to make the right choice, the stronger it will be in reinforcing. Same goes for making the wrong choices in God's. God will back you in choosing the righteousness. I'm trying to tell you. But look here. Near the equator. Right. You hear me? That part. Come on. Mari said current testimony. Come on. So look at this. Some people are closer to the sun, right? Some people that are closer to certain places get sunshine for longer. Some people that are far away from the sun, it's cold where they at. And sometimes it's light, even though it's cold. And sometimes it's dark and it's still cold. Maybe not as cold, maybe even colder. But there are places where it's light for 24 hours. Well, sometimes that make it hard to sleep because some people can't sleep with no light. And what if they ain't got the money to get blackout curtains? What if they ain't got no basement to go sleep in? So their sleep might not be like your sleep because maybe the sun is in their window 24 hours a day for 2 months out the year. Maybe it's so cold that they got to keep their car running for 3 straight months because they so far away from the sun and it's so cold, they can't even let their stuff stop running. Do y'all know it's a place like that? I know y'all do. Y'all seen it on TikTok like I did. Is it in Russia where they can't even turn off their car for like 3 straight months? Is that where it is? Oh, thank you so much, Miss Ida. Is it in Russia? It's somewhere in Russia, ain't it? Or somewhere over there. I don't know if it's the Ukraine. I know that some of the people look like Asian, some type of Asian people. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It's Siberia? Okay, thank you. I know it's somewhere where they can't turn them cars off. And if they stay outside more than like 5 minutes without nothing being on them, it's a wrap. Well, yeah. Go look it up. They gotta let their cars run for like 3 straight months. You cannot let your car run out of gas. You can't turn it off. Right. So even though they under the same sun, they got issues we ain't never had to deal with. Who couldn't turn their car off for 3 straight months? Who in here can actually say you live there and you couldn't turn your car off for 3 straight months? How much gas is that? And you got to think, ain't too much moving around if it's that cold. So how do you even afford that? You said you got Norwegian. That's one thing most of us can never say we had to do. I know I ain't never had to leave my car. I'm talking about day and night, 24 hours a day. Your car got to be left running because you can't turn it off if you want it to work. You hear me? I couldn't imagine either. You hear me? You said it's similar in the northern. Okay. Gas got to be cheaper for that time period or free. Interesting. Do you think they actually do that though? Do you think that that's what they gonna do in the Dakotas? Okay. So they got to in what, North Dakota? They got to keep it running 3 months. You would figure out a way to leave. Yeah, maybe. But I'm just saying. You know. So we can say we hate going out in 2 feet of snow, but they got snow and everything else, and they can't even. You know what I'm saying? You have to plug the battery up during the winter time. Oh, okay. Because the cold will drain it. Excuse me. So with that, well, my thing is this, and we all living on the same planet, right? We all living on the same planet. They might not. They might even be on the same continent with somebody that don't even got to experience those drastic temperatures, right? Because some of us couldn't even imagine, but they do it every year. No, no problem. It's just a part of their life. But we don't experience the same things. Exactly. 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 So that was a lot of my message today. I hope y'all felt that. Is that, you know, we all go through stuff and we go through similar things, but it's not the exact same. And the weight that someone else has to carry, you don't have to carry it. They have to carry it, and you have to carry your weight. 40 below made me leave. I know that's right. Sheesh. 40 below. Goodness gracious. So with that, I love y'all, and I'm about to get off of here because this schedule, y'all, is crazy to me. I'm gonna try to make myself go to bed before 12 o'clock. I tap danced. It tap danced on my heart today. Glad I was here for it. Oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate y'all. I told you he had me crying before I got on here because I'm like, I don't. What, man. What is this about? Good night. I love y'all. Oh, thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I was just talking about this is so amazing. Yeah, it's a real thing. So I love y'all. I'm about to go put something in my stomach and lay down because I gotta get up early. This I didn't get up till 11 something today. I don't want that. I need to be up. I don't know. I mean, like I said, maybe God just letting me rest. But goodness gracious, I don't like being up in the middle of the night for whatever reason. I love y'all. See y'all later.